Let me know anything.
So are we back live?
We just went.
Okay, so we're back from executive session, we had an extended 10 minutes and no action taken. Or no.
Well,
Do we want to announce? No, we don't know yet.
we don't know yet. We were just talking about recruitment.
Yeah. So we make the offer, okay?
Yeah. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Good
So we
morning.
keep you waiting.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tammy Robinson, Finance Director. In the interest of time, because we have the Sheriff's Office Community Involvement Team representatives have come over. They had sent over their request. If you recall, they came earlier on and we had requested they complete the forms that the other outside entities completed for 2025. And at that point, you would consider a potential appropriation for them from the special alcohol funds. And then going forward, they'll be on that same schedule with the other outside entities where they complete these documents annually when they come in to ask for requests. So I did provide you the information. They did also give us bank statements and such. I had given you the opportunity to come in and look at those. And Commissioner Giordano did come in and look at those, but then I sent you the other information. So do you have any questions for them on their request, their uses, the timing, anything to that degree? I did ask them to come for that purpose.
About that, and I think reading through that and whatever, I think that all of that information is awesome, and I love that it's involving kids and all of that. I just was a little confused in the sense that I know, with the special alcohol fund, I thought that was supposed to be used just specifically for education and drug and alcohol related treatment and all that other stuff. I didn't know that it was.
Well, they do that in the camp. They talk about that stuff.
Well,
It's kind of
it didn't come.
Preventative.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, they do that.
It's kind of like.
It definitely fits what they're doing. And this isn't a new request, it's just that in the past, the sheriff would come and say, do you want to transfer $10,000 from this fund into their
Yeah, I
fund?
understand, yeah, we used to be involved with doing that, I just, making those, with those programs and stuff that, I thought they were supposed to be related to drug abuse and whatever, not necessarily to, I understand that, before, whenever they had the whatever that program was too, that was a good program, but this, DARE program, that, with special alcohol, I just know that in years past, there's been questions about it, so I guess when I saw that and whatever, and again, I hate questioning it, it's just that I'm aware of the fact what the special alcohol fund was intended for, and I didn't know reading this if this meant that criteria. If you all are comfortable with it.
Well, I think, and the
whatever,
fact
but
that we,
it says to
you guys did a great
prevent
job on that budget. I appreciated that. It was real simple to read and I really appreciated that. And that's our job to question, Kathy. I mean, you're not asking anything out of the ordinary. It's just new to you, but I think that the program that they have done is just phenomenal. And the kids getting to go to an overnight camp is so cool, and they'll remember that for the rest of their lives. And I know you guys do address the alcohol, making good choices, being responsible for your actions.
I think it says to treat people with alcohol.
No, it's
And-
not all for that. It's about
And use the
education. It
program.
says educating. That's why they pay, they've also used it in the past for radio ads on stuff and just education on preventing and resources available for that. It's not treatment. That's not what it's for. It's for education, and that's exactly what the camp
It
does.
says, I've got the statute, the fund can be used for programs that treat people who are alcoholics or drug abusers.
Does it say anything about education?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
fund can be used to purchase, maintain, or
Well, that's
expand
what we would use
programs
it for. Now, if somebody comes in,
related to alcohol and drug abuse.
And we
The
do
fund
use it
can
for-
be used for programs that prevent and educate about alcohol and drug abuse.
And that's what this is for. And then
And
we
that's-
also give to the trip.
Again, I don't want to seem whatever, I just know that being involved in the past and, you know, the questions that we used to, the sheriff used to get about using those monies, I just was doing my due diligence to ask that question.
Sure, and we do it, we
You
do
guys-
use it for that,
We use it.
I think it's
for
awesome.
the AAA, which is the treatment, Circle A, I'm
Well, see,
sorry.
and that's what they used to, Circle A used to be where a lot of those funds.
But you
used to
guys have
go,
been
and
doing
that
this
was
camp for how long
alcoholism.
and you've been using that?
Since
And-
2018.
Yeah, and it's for education. I mean, that's basically what we, you know, that's what DARE is education and prevention.
Education and team building and
Yeah.
all that.
It's a great program and it's exactly what that, I believe that the legislators are using that fund for.
And by the way, and Kathy hadn't had the opportunity, you knew, but, I still like your invitations for that day when you invite us to lunch.
Yes.
So get to sit down and talk to some of the kids going through the camp. I'm fine with it.
Is there anything you guys would like to share in addition to what you already sent over? I mean, you had come and you gave a really good program, but I know Ms. Tremont wasn't here at that point, so I don't know if there's anything you want to
I mean,
specifically
if she has
outline.
any further questions about the program and what it entails, we'd be happy to talk about that.
You okay, Kathy?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll make a motion that we, present or offer that, money to them for the camp. I think it's a good program and I appreciate you guys doing that.
And then I would just have one question so that we can make sure that the motion is clarified. Do you need the full 25,000 now, or what our normal appropriation is? It's given in January and it's given half in January, half in July. But with your camp and how this schedule and timeline is, do you need all 25,000 before the July time period, or how do you need the money provided to you?
At this time, we would half will be fine. I know we missed January, it's now February.
Yeah.
And then, because we do have to give Rock Springs a down payment.
Okay.
And then at the end of camp, we have to satisfy the bill. And they do that because sometimes some of the classes that we take through Rock Springs, fall through. And so they'll take it off the tab.
So when you finalize at the end, what's that time frame?
It's at the end of camp, so that will be, June 3rd
So technically, you're gonna need it before that July.
to pay, yes.
Yes. So it would probably be better to
Just
go
to
ahead
give
and
them all.
provide the full 25, and that way they'll have the money available when they
And if
have
classes
time
that
frames.
don't work out, get canceled, that money just gets rolled over to next year.
Yeah.
Correct. We, every year they have different classes they offer. And so, we try to change it every year. We do stick with some of the same ones. The kids really enjoy archery and rifles, and they enjoy the zip line and the high ropes. And so the stream study, all of the kids really loved last year, so we intend to do that one again this year.
So then if you come back next year for a request, you can just take that into account if there was any additional funds left over.
I sure can. I can provide you with an itemized bill from Rock Springs.
Perfect.
And I know that's more work, but we have to treat you guys just the same as all the other appropriations, so I hope you understand that. You know, and then people asking, I mean, that is our job, is to question those things, so yeah, for sure.
So our next AP cycle will be, I believe it's February 18th is when that check would be cut then. Okay, so does that work for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if
So
you,
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any other discussion, anything else anybody wants to add? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
yes,
Just want to make sure that we can.
thanks. Okay, the only other thing that I wanted to bring to your attention is Friday, I'm on the Kansas GFOA board as the past president this year, and one of the things that is out there is House Bill 2152, and I gave you guys that documentation. The reason this is so important is because we just started trying to boost our investment program. And with that, we have this bill out here that is trying to, instead of using the US Treasury security rate as the equivalent yield, they're wanting to switch that for Kansas and have the KNIP rate be our base rate. That creates a lot of issues because the KNIP rate is historically significantly lower than the T-bill rate. It would eliminate some market competition. There's potential conflicts of interest and board appointments that are on that PMIB board. They have bankers and, that creates an issue with us if they're wanting to regulate that rate. And then if you look at the national rate standard versus KMIP's limited influence, the US Treasury rate is nationwide standard and is driven by the broader financial markets. And KMIP is only relative to the state of Kansas. So what this is going to cause is the local governments will see a reduced revenue and interest. If you don't have a really strong investment program, it may not affect you tremendously. But I had a couple of people on my board reach out and they said, the rate that they have right now is half a basis point difference from what the KMIP rate is, and that, if you have a lot of dollars out there, that can make a pretty big difference pretty quickly. And so we, as the board members on the Kansas GFOA, did write a letter to oppose this bill. And so I just wanted you to know that because I'm on that board, I did write as a citizen, not as the Geary County Financial, because we didn't have a meeting for me to ask and to talk to legal counsel and all that. So as a citizen, I did also write a letter, which they accepted in protest to what they're doing.
So I guess I don't understand, what is their thoughts behind that?
Well, I really think it has to do with, you have some bankers on this board, and it's to their benefit if they get to lower that rate that they're giving out in interest. And so by using that KMIP rate as a base, then it sets their standard lower for what they're going to give us for our investments.
So what happens with the T-bills?
Well, the T-bills are US, so nothing happens with that. That's still going to be the standard that's governed everywhere except maybe Kansas with this bill.
That's what I mean. So if this goes through, then what do we do with that T-bill?
Well, that's kind of a problem, especially when you look at one of the things we have as our escrow money for that bond, and we're getting those kinds of rates right now.
That's what
It doesn't mean that they can't give you more. It just means that they're not going to be required. There's not going to be, it's going to get rid of your competition. So going back to government regulating rates, which I think is
I would like
wrong.
you to draft a letter that we all three
What do you
sign.
think, Kathy? You used to be a treasurer.
Yeah, I agree. I'm sorry.
When's this coming up?
Well, we had to have information in by noon on Friday.
Oh.
Literally, we knew in the morning and I had to have it something by noon. So we have that out there immediately, but I just think that you need to be aware of it and be watching it because it could hurt a lot more than just here. I think it's gonna hurt us across the state.
Can I tell you something? Because I have been down at the state. Even if you didn't have time to submit your testimony, send your emails
Sure.
to those who sit on that committee, because they actually do, when they meet, to try and vote on that. It makes a difference.
So that's why I wanted to give you a copy of the bill again, just for everybody out there that's watching it. It's House Bill 2152. And so this was what we were dealing with, trying to get this put together right away on Friday so that we could potentially try to stop this. a change.
Well, I think we should draft one too and have us all three.
Either
sign.
that or we need to individually contact our representatives.
Well, probably we need to do the
You
ones that
guys
are on.
need to do it individually, so you have the numbers behind you, is how, that's just.
But
from
who's
my
on the, do we know
experience.
who's on the committee? Because that's who we need to send it. I mean, we can
There
send
you
it to them if we're not, if our people aren't on the committee, that,
I can send you who I had to send my
Okay.
information to
yeah, that's fine.
by noon last week, and, like you said, if you send it, I mean, it may not make any difference, but it
Let's
may,
know.
it may.
I've got a question, why didn't the Kansas Association of Counties let you guys know about this?
Well, and I'll be honest, from what I see, it looks like the League of Kansas Municipalities is actually in favor of this change, which is sad.
Imagine that. That's why
I
we
don't know.
dropped.
I mean, I haven't talked to anybody specifically from there, but one of our board members from Eastern Kansas, that he gave us the information, and he says they're at the table, and from limited things I have seen, they are in favor of this change.
Well, that's why we're no longer a member of the municipalities.
But, you know, the other thing you think about is if that gets more people to invest with K-Myth, then that's more money in their pocket anyway. Whereas if they're not going to the local banks and such. And right now, we have some investments in K-Myth. It's been in there since that 2016 hospital bond. And it's not paying us as much interest as the local banks did when we went out for investment bids here previously. So. Any other questions on that? All right, well, that's all I have for this morning. Thanks.
Can you get Crystal?
Will I get her?
I mean, yeah, 'cause the next one.
Oh, yes, I'll go
Executive
grab her.
session.
How long?
Interest of time, no more than 10 minutes.
I'll make a motion that we go into executive session, reference non-elected personnel, including HR, finance, and legal, at the request of Jim and Asher. 10 minutes.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. It's fine. Opposed? Motion carried.